That independent music is so big in the country right now. I mean, obviously the Juno soundtrack with the Moldy Peaches debuting at #1, things like the Garden State soundtrack with the bands on there. Bands like Arcade Fire, Shins, I mean, the list goes on and on. Independent music is stronger than ever, and because of all the things that have happened with new media and with the major labels getting smaller, it's become a really level and even playing field. So it's a very exciting time to be an independent band, and a band from a scene that's a community like Denver, Colorado. So this next band, I discovered they were doing a showcase at CMJ, which is a college music marathon, they call it. It's a big thing they do for music trade in New York City. And there's literally about 100 bars and clubs where bands play. And I hosted one on the Bowery called the R Bar. And the band that played that night that really blew me away, that really just, I fell in love with, were Born in the Flood from right here in town. But I'm so excited to introduce them, and I know you'll love them as well. So please, make some noise for Born in the Flood.
I got 'em almost in, and it's 100 pounds or more. And after all we've been, I think I'm too tongue-tied to get 'em off my back. But I'm almost ready for the brave. I was out there missing steps when you swung around to me. Best way not to crash and pulling out too late.
Me and Joseph met each other. I think I met him the first time on a school bus when we were really little, but we never really hung out. He had sort of big blue glasses.
They got dark in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old were you? Do you remember how?
I was probably like 11, 10 when I first met him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we kind of knew of each other a long time and had mutual friends. And when we were about 14, I think we started hanging out and started playing music not long after that.
Was it a mutual love for music? Did you find out you liked the same artists or singers or songwriters?
There was nothing else to do. We weren't rednecks and we weren't jocks. And we were both really kind of just discovering music. We both grew up with families that loved music and listened to music for most of our childhood. So, but it was fun to be able to like kind of be coming into something together.
We both got a job at Subway together. We always worked with like no shoes on, and there was never a manager there. It was ridiculous. And he played a song on an acoustic guitar for me in the back of Subway. And I really felt an incredible urge to follow this thing that he had, you know. And I started playing guitar the next day, and we started a band, and I played a lot of guitar and wrote songs, and Nate played lead guitar and sang, and it slowly kind of started to build into something that was still pretty obnoxious and noisy, but you know, Nate started taking more of a lead role in it. And
when you wake in the morning, please remind me of your love. Even with all of the rage, the feeling went on and on and on and on. Seeing you pull my brains, coming close to me, the feeling went on and on and on and on.
During one of the floods, I think it was in '86, my best friend and his family lived on the other side of the river. His mother went into labor, and they took her on the last boat to get to the hospital on the other side of the river. And their father was at the bar, and somebody called the corner bar and said, "Hey, Joe, Mary just went into labor." And so he just left, and there was no way for him to get across, so he waded through a couple of miles of floodwater to get to the hospital.
Say like 5 or 6 miles.
Yes.
Of floodwater.
The river used to go from bluff to bluff before the Corps engineers came in and routed out the Missouri River. So the whole idea behind the name was that, you know, floodwater is pretty nasty stuff, and for this guy to wade through it to get to his daughter being born is a pretty amazing feat, since there's like trees and barns and everything floating in it. I guess everybody's kind of born into that, you know. Your environment doesn't create who you are, I guess. Wherever you're born doesn't make what kind of person you're going to be, that you can escape that and you don't have to live by those standards.
Right.
And then also that this man who was kind of a drunkard still did an amazing feat to get there to see his daughter being born.